Hello, students, and welcome back. Today, we are going to go through a story within a story. You might have seen the nested dolls as seen on the screen also. They are quite unique and interesting to play with. One doll inside another doll, inside another doll, and inside another doll. Must be fun, right? I think we will have some fun with Should Wizard Hit Mommy also, a story written by John Updike. And these are some of the important characters or things which are going to play quite an important, crucial role in the development of the story, which is inside a story. So I will start from the center top. You can see the picture of a girl who has a very confused look on her face, and I believe she has many curiosities and questions to ask. She is going to play an important role indeed. Then moving in the clockwise direction, we have the pennies, and these pennies are going to be quite important. And we have a wizard also, something that is found in fairy tales, I guess. But here we have a wizard also, so it means that the story is going to be quite interesting. There is an umbrella too. Now, this umbrella is quite a unique character in the story. We'll go through it later. Then we have this animal. This animal is known as skunk, and it has a very natural feature of smelling very bad. Well, it cannot be helped. And then we have the wise old owl. And the wise old owl is famously known to solve problems. It means that our story has some problem associated with some character, right? But before getting to know the story itself, let us get to know the author. John Hoyer Updike, who was born in the year 1932 and died in 2009, happens to be the writer of the story. Should Wizard Hit Mommy was first published in the print edition of June 13, 1959 issue of the New Yorker. Mr. John Updike is an American writer of novels, short stories, and poetry, and is known for his careful craftsmanship and realistic but subtle depiction of American Protestant, small town, middle class life. And this story is no exception to that. Here also, we are going to come across a very simple middle class family. And his notable works include Rabbit Angstrom novels, Henry Beck stories, The Witches of Eastwick. So this is about Mr. John Updike. Let us get through the story. Before the story itself, let us learn a little about the characters. Because I told you that this is a story inside a story, so let us first learn about the main story characters. All these characters, they belong to a family that we can call it Jack's family, and it includes Jack himself. Then we have Claire, Jack's wife, who is pregnant with their third child. Then we have Jo, Jack's daughter, and I think she is the girl with the confused look on her face. And Bobby is also part of the family, a young boy, and who was actually sleeping during the story. Well, coming to that story which is inside this particular story, and the character of this story are Roger Skunk, the skunk that I showed you earlier, then an owl, the wizard, we have Mommy Skunk also, and there are some other animals too, who happens to be the friends of Roger Skunk. Moving forward. Now Jack used to have this storytelling session, bedtime stories. He used to tell Jo, his daughter, in evenings and for Saturday naps. And each story was basically a slight variation of the same basic tale. And what was this? There was always an animal named Roger. He always had a problem, and with that problem he would always go to the wise old owl. The owl would then advise him to go to the wizard. The wizard then solves the problem and demands fee, that is the pennies. And Roger was always short of money, but wizard would tell him that where the money was. And Roger would go there, bring the pennies and give it to the wizard. And because the problem is also solved, he was very happy. He go and started playing with his friends, the other creatures. Then he goes back to his home, and when his father returns, the family then have their dinner. So this is how every story would run. And obviously, when you have the same kind of story pattern, the child, here in this case Jo, was already known to the entire story. Well, coming to Roger Skunk here, Joe suggested this animal, skunk, for the story, and Jack was quite interested in it because he did not believe that the daughter is so much grown up to learn about skunks. And Roger Skunk had a problem that he used to smell very bad, and all the other creatures refused to play with him because of that, and would make fun of him also. Roger Skunk would feel hurt, humiliated, and cried also. And like in every story, he also went to the wise old owl, and the owl advised him to go to the wizard. Now, this is a skunk, it smells very bad. The same happened with Roger Skunk also. Now, Joe was very curious. While the story session was going on, she kept on asking questions. Why? Because actually she knew the entire story, right? Every time the same story with a different animal. So she started asking questions. She asked if magic spells are real. And she kept on interrupting Jack also from time to time, asking questions after questions, expressing her curiosity, and correcting him also where he made mistakes. So you can imagine the situation of poor Jack, who was trying to tell a story honestly but was continuously interrupted by the daughter. Now, Joe had many questions. Now, let us see what she had in her mind. Joe interrupts many times. She knows the story by heart now. Jack feels that his authority is being questioned. He realizes that Joe no longer blindly accepts what he says, and it's a very common notion. Children, up to a particular age, they listen to their parents, never ask anything. But when they start growing up, they start seeing things, noting them, and then they have many curiosities and they ask many questions also. And the parents cannot understand what to do with the child. Well, Jack is upset by Joe's questioning because he uses his stories as a way to escape from reality and reconnect with his own childlike innocence instead of duty and drudgery of his life. So for Jack, it was a simple way to get away from his harsh reality or his busy life. So he used to enjoy this storytelling session, and he had total authority also during this particular period of time, but now his authority was questioned by this young girl. Well, Roger Skunk journeyed through the woods to visit the wizard's house, and Jack does an impression of the old wizard, which is his favorite part of the story. This makes Joe very happy as well. And Joe questions if magic is real, because now she is growing up, she must be surprised or confused whether magic is real or not. Now, what happened between Skunk and the wizard? Wizard is a very tiny little old man with long white beard and a pointed blue hat. He finds Skunk smell very awful and asks him not to get too close. Skunk requests to change his smell and wishes to smell like roses. Wizard chants a magic rhyme, skunk smell like roses. Well, and he asked for 7 pennies also. And Roger had only 4 pennies, and Wizard tells him where to find the 3 pennies, and Skunk follows the instructions, find 3 pennies there in the well, and pays the wizard. So this is how the story was going as usual. And then he went to the other creatures, and the creatures were definitely very surprised. They liked his smell also. They started playing with him, and Skunk happily goes back to his home in the evening, and he was very happy and satisfied. Now, what happened when he went to his home, and then comes the mommy skunk, who had no role earlier, but this time she came with a twist in the tail. Now, Skunk's mommy was shocked at his new smell, and she was very angry with the wizard. Joe was very surprised at Skunk's mother's reaction and does not approve of it at all. She tries to defend Skunk, but Jack continues and says, Skunk's mother goes to Wizard and hits him on his head with an umbrella and gets him to change Skunk's smell back to its original. Joe puts up strong resistance. She wants Wizard to hit back Mommy, but Jack defends. Roger's mother saying that she loved Roger as it was and knew what was right for him. Joe was not at all convinced. Later, other animals got used to of the smell of Roger and started playing with him. Joe makes him promise a different end of the story at the next day. Jack undergoes a change of mood, finds himself and his wife trapped in a cage. feels he is caught in an ugly middle position. Now, coming to Joe's protest, Joe does not accept this change in the story. She demands that the wizard refuse to change Roger back and instead hit his mother on the head himself. Now, as far as Joe was concerned, for Joe, Roger was the hero of the story and he cannot be he has to be flawless. He has to be popular. He should have all the happiness in the world. He cannot be somebody with many problems. And even if he had problems, his problems should get sorted out by the end of the story, and that was not happening. Mommy was the hurdle. That is why she demanded over and over again that the wizard should hit the mommy with the umbrella. Joe senses a flaw in Jack's story. If Roger smells like skunk again, then he will continue to make the other animals run away. And she was too young to have a concept of duty. Joe does not accept Jack's story and views Roger's mother as the villain for refusing to allow Roger to have the acceptance of his peers. Therefore, Joe believes that Roger's mother should be punished for her transgressions. So, for Joe, Mommy was the villain of the story. Now, Jack's point of view, he was trying to establish respect for parental authority, believing they have a right to decide the direction of their children's life and future. And Joe's point of view was that she is now growing up and gaining maturity, tries to assert her individuality and challenges parental authority. So here they are at loggerheads. They are polar opposites. The father is saying something and the daughter is trying to say something else. Now let's see about something about the different perspectives. Joe demands that Jack change the story. She wants the wizard to refuse to change Roger back and to hit Roger's stupid mommy over the head with his wand. Jack attempts to explain that Roger was better off with his old smell because it was what his mother wanted and he loved his mother more than he cared what the other animals thought about him. So here Jack was trying to teach the girl that why family is more important than anybody else. Joe does not accept this ending and demands that the next story involve Roger's mother being hit by the wizard. She did not agree to that at all. Joe and Jack's fundamental disagreement at the end of the story reveals that, as a child, Joe feels a duty only to herself and therefore cannot understand why Roger would compromise his happiness for his mother's. So, for a young child, it's difficult to understand something so difficult, something so complicated in relationships, but Jack was trying to teach her. Now, coming to the ugly middle position part, when Jack finally came out of his fantasy world and was now in the real world and he had to help his wife. Now, thoroughly tired, Jack brings story time to an end and urges Joe to go to sleep. Joe, in turn, demands that in tomorrow's story, the wizard must hit Roger Skunk's mother over the head instead. Jack does not answer her and instead goes downstairs to finally help his wife. When Jack finally does interact with Claire, he is listless and depressed. He notes that the first thing Claire does is to chide him for the length of his story, that you have told a long story. What were you doing there? You must have been here helping me out. Well, Jack is too weary to help and instead sits in a chair and watches his wife repaint their living room. He sees the molding in their house as a cage surrounding him and his wife. He has no desire to work with her or even talk to her or touch her. So this is his transition period. The transition period from the fantasy world to the real world. And nobody likes to come out of the fantasy world and enter into the harsh reality of life. The same was experienced by Jack here too. More importantly, he could not convince his daughter and he could not convince his wife also. That is why he was in an ugly middle position. Now there are symbols also used by the writer in the story. One is Roger's smell and then we have the house. Let us have a look at them. Roger's smell. In Jack's story, Roger's skunk is anxious to get rid of his smell so that the other animals will not run away from him and will allow him to play. Jack feels personally invested in Roger's plight, having been bullied as a boy himself, but Roger's smell comes to mean more to Jack as the story progresses. Roger's smell also represents the natural character they have, and that is why he was trying to show Joe that natural characters cannot be changed and we must learn to respect them. And if we respect them, then others will respect us also. Jack tries to show Joe that Roger cannot change his smell because it is something that belongs to him, something innately his own, and that without it he is no longer recognizable to the people around him. Familial obligation stays with him like Roger's unpleasant odor, something that he cannot shake or give up. Joe's reaction to Roger's skunk smell shows that a sense of duty and self sacrifice is something that comes when you grow up. The same happened with Joe also. She finally gave up on that day. She wanted to change the story the next day, but at a particular point, she did give up. Coming to the house as a symbol, Jack's story is punctuated repeatedly with the sound of his wife Claire moving furniture as she repaints the living room downstairs. At the very end of the story, Jack joins Claire in the living room, where looking at the wooden molding all around them, he feels as though he were in a cage. Everything about the home he lives in symbolizes how stale and constrictive his life has become. Therefore, he is no longer able to mask feelings of resentment, depression, and isolation towards his wife and the life that they are living. Now, coming to the end, let us go back and realize that what are the issues raised in the chapter. One is racial segregation or discrimination, because Roger Skunk was discriminated. Why? Because he used to smell very bad, which was actually his natural character. The second point is respecting one's identity and originality. That is what Jack was trying to teach Joe, that you have to respect your originality. Worldview of a child, which is different from an adult, and fictional world against the harsh realities of life. So these are the issues that are raised in the chapter. And in the end, I would end with this particular thought that different individuals valuing each other regardless of skin, intellect, talents, or years will make a better world to which we all must belong to. So Jack and Joe must respect each other. Roger, Wizard, other creatures must respect each other. And in totality, we must respect each other as we are, with the innate characteristic features that we have. We may become angry, we may not become rigid, we must be unhappy, we must be too much stiff. We can have characteristic features different from each other, but the natural features which cannot be helped out should be respected by each and every one. So, with a little respect towards ourselves and towards others, it can only make the world a peaceful place to live in. So, this is the end of the story within a story, and I would like to thank you for listening to me.